22 years ago today, I was 21. And citizens from all walks of life had begun to converge along EDSA to provide support for the breakaway group of then Minister Juan Ponce Enrile and General Fidel Ramos, who were both holed up in Camp Aguinaldo after declaring their withdrawal of support from the Marcos dictatorship. 3 days later, Marcos fled and democracy in the country was restored after 14 years of dictatorial rule. The issues that hounded the Marcos regime then were numerous, but among the first on the list were human rights violations, corruption, poverty, insurgency, underdevelopment. Today, after 22 years, it is very disheartening. I'm now 44. The issues of corruption, human rights violations, the insurgency, poverty continue to hound us, continue to plague our nation. One therefore cannot help conclude that we have not moved as quickly as we had hoped in the last 2 decades. And this becomes even more apparent when we compare our situation with respect to how other nations in the region have progressed given the same period. In fact, not moving quickly as we hope is an understatement. If we are to be brutally frank about it, and if we are to be true to the data before us, it is more appropriate to say that we have not moved at all. Data will show that from the period 1981 to 2001, the per capita incomes of China, Malaysia, and Thailand grew in tremendous fashion. China grew by some 400% in terms of per capita income, Malaysia by 150%, and Thailand by 100%. In the same period, same 20-year period, the per capita income of the Philippines remained the same. It didn't grow, 0% from 81 to 2001. They say today, 5 years after 2001, it has grown a bit, 0.75%. We slept for 20 years. And to make things worse today, as I speak before you, we find ourselves again embroiled in another national political controversy that involves people in high office, if not the highest. The ZTE-NBN scandal and what appears to be an attempt by cabinet officials or palace officials to silence, coerce, or to intimidate Mr. Losada from testifying in the Senate investigation have angered a great number of our people and have revived the calls for the resignation of President Arroyo. The issues that have arisen have given way to very disturbing questions. On the issue of overprice, if President Arroyo knew of the 200 million bribery attempt as relayed to her by Secretary Neri, allegedly, what did she do to prevent it? And what did she do to ensure that those who were involved were punished or to be punished? Obviously, the answer to that is, at the very least, we don't know. If it was truly overpriced and she had knowledge of the overpricing, why was the contract approved and why did she take the extraordinary steps to fly to China and be a witness to the approval of the contract or signing of the same? On the issue of the alleged abduction of Mr. Losada, was the President aware of the incident? And if so, what was her participation in it? Why was the PSG in the premises of the airport? These questions beg for answers. We all deserve the truth. We want to know whether or not the highest officials in the land have resorted to criminal acts, either to enrich themselves or criminal acts to conceal the commission of these illegal acts. We deserve to know if high officials in the land are involved in corrupt acts such as bribery and corruption, and in the heinous crime of kidnapping, as well as the crime of perjury and obstruction of justice.